Okay, hello everyone. Today what we have here are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Let me get the seventh device here. Seventh device on the table, and we're gonna use all of these and head into Genshin Impact version 5.0 with the new region release. They also posted this article a few months back where they are going to update the graphical intensity, or at least the graphical, what's that thing again? Yeah, they're upgrading the overall visuals and functions of the game, so it will mean higher graphical performance requirements. And they also listed a bunch of chipsets that will be affected by this. But we don't have any devices that are running on those chipsets, but that should also mean the newer chipsets will be downgraded a few notches if we're going to use the same graphical settings, since, you know, the graphical requirement is getting upgraded. So this one is the Vivo V40 with the Snapdragon 7 Gen 3, Z Fold6, S24 Ultra, and also the ROG Phone 8. All these three phones are using the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, Pixel 9, Tensor G4, S24 Plus is using the Exynos 2400, and this one is the M1 iPad Air. So it is a little bit dated, but the M1 iPad Air is still very strong to this day. So we'll leave all of the devices aside first. We'll start off with the S24 Ultra. I should also mention that I have done this test for the version 4.8 right before version 5.0 is released, and I think they have already upgraded the graphical quality once, because when we do routine of when the phone starts to thermal throttle, for this phone is 47 degrees Celsius, so at about 47 degrees Celsius, I'll head into this tree here, jump down into the lake, swim across this path, head into that jellyfish there, and then teleport to this area, walk north, and then we can see the frame rate can dip to somewhere around 28 FPS. Yes, it's the low 30s, which is kind of surprising because the S24 Ultra, when we first got the phone back in January, and also I did redo the test in April, the frame rate wasn't this bad. So I do think that they have upgraded the graphics before version 4.8 was even released. Now we are back here with version 5.0. We can see the render resolution is the same, 1872 by 864. Let me just play around and make it thermal throttle first. Then we'll do the same swimming into the lake and whatnot. But let's head into Natlan and see how things go. Where is the entrance? So here's the entrance. It's pretty common for this kind of live service games to improve the newer release maps and whatnot with the higher graphical quality. For example, Overwatch, I remember when it was first released, the maps like King's Row and whatnot, they got updated a few times over the course of like 5-6 years of the game's release. So this is a pretty common practice. So I get to name this guy. What should I name you? Boy. Holy heck, I didn't expect that to be a level 90 deer. Oh yeah, I still have not upgraded the world level yet, so it's here. I will do that later. And I am also testing it with the highest graphical preset. So just take note of all of these. Oh, I get to climb. That's convenient. Okay, so we have hit 47 degrees Celsius. That's the thermal limit of this phone. So as we can see, the frame rate is really not that good. 30 something FPS in this beautiful view here. Yeah, this is it's gonna tax the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 heavily. Oh, the frame rate is amazing. What is this? So I get to destroy the enemies, and then I get to ride their dead body. Seems legit. Yeah, the frame rate isn't that good. So, is this Brontosaurus or what? I can't climb. I can't. Is it? No. Let's just walk around again. The frame rate is definitely dropping by a lot. It's definitely stuttering. We can drop to like 20 something FPS. So that's intense. Yeah, there are lots of frame skips now. So, I guess once it thermal throttles, expect about like 30 FPS. That's the most realistic number that I can think of. What? So I think that's enough for the S24 Ultra. If you're gonna play on this phone on version 5.0, you can. It's just that you have to either disable the Game Booster Plus. Yes, we are using Game Booster Plus to get the highest possible render resolution. So you should either disable this or play it at a slightly lower graphical setting so that you can get better consistent frame rates. We'll head to the next phone, which is the S24 Plus with the Exynos 2400. So what I'm doing here is using the same settings as the S24 Ultra. So highest graphical settings with Game Booster Plus turned on. So we got the 1872 by 864 pixels render resolution. Alternate game performance management mode turned on. We got PerfZ and also GPU watch turned on as well. So we have to head back to Natlan and get a higher temperature before heading back to Fontaine and do the lake swimming thing. What? Oh, instant climbing, that's good. Bonk. You do take fall damage, it's just not that much. Kakahuatl. Hey boy, don't go wandering off. I don't regret choosing that name. Where's the teleport waypoint? Oh, there's the frame drop. 24, 21, 24. So same thing as the S24 Ultra, but it recovered really fast. So, okay. We'll just go around a little bit more before heading back to Fontaine where we test out the swimming part.
Abandoned property belongs to whoever finds it first. So, it's legally yours now.
So we're just gonna drop in and swing here. Oh. So one thing that I realized is that the S24 Plus is definitely throttling a little bit harder than the S24 Ultra. Probably that's because this phone has a smaller vapor chamber compared to the Ultra, but this is what we got. I'm gonna leave all of the explanations for other time because we're just gonna test out the raw performance of what we're gonna get if we're gonna use all of these settings. So far we are consistently around 30-ish FPS, mostly around 20 something. So yeah. Oh no, what happened? Overall performance, same story as the S24 Ultra. If you want to play this game version 5.0 smoothly, you will either have to disable Game Booster Plus, so lowering the render resolution, or just play it at a lower graphical quality, or maybe both if you want a much smoother, consistent 60 FPS experience on both of these phones, because like it or not, Genshin is still the heaviest game to date. So we're done here. Then comes the ROG Phone 8. So let's go back to Natlan for now. So from what I can find out, the ROG Phone 8 is gonna be the most difficult phone to thermal throttle because the chipset is moved to the middle part, and then it also has some heatsink at the chipset to make it dissipate heat faster than other phones that we have tested. So let's just do all of these. Oh, the screen is gonna have even more buttons now and more prone to accidental presses. Why are there so many fishes? Fall damage. Not much, but there is some fall damage. What? Oh, so I become Yoshi. So let's try fighting the new boss. I'm not sure what boss this is. Is it the Big Chungus boss? Mountain King.
Into the wind, as one with wind and cloud. The night is cold. Let the world come alive.
Settle down. Let the mighty be humbled.
Big Chungus. Yeah, that's just how effective the cooling system on the ROG Phone 8 really is, because even with just a simple chipset location change and also adding a heatsink there really does prolong the time taken for it to thermal throttle by quite a lot. How do I aim that thing? Oh. Ooh. What is that?
Settle down.
Biblically accurate angel, I guess. Aye, what? You got a shield.
Alright, let's finish this fast. That was quick.
Yeah, that was quick. Can you imagine how sad this is? You're bringing in your kids into battle as well, and I will just take their parents' life, the body, and do whatever I want. It's kind of sick, but okay. Can I fight with this thing though? Wow. Damage. But I guess I need to eat stuff to speed it out for... Oh. What? I get stunned? Also, I can park my car somewhere else. Not a car, the animal.
My guiding star.
Okay, so temperature is finally at 48 degrees Celsius. Still very smooth experience. No frame drops. That's the power of the ROG Phone 8. And despite it not looking gamery this year, it's still a actually the most powerful gaming phone that we have tested this year. So I know previously I stated that the ROG Phone 8 had a lower render resolution, but they seem to have increased it as well because the character looks very sharp, very handsome, and the circle on her shield looks like a proper circle, not the jaggy edges that we had previously. So I think that they did improve on that. I can't confirm it, but from my eyes I can definitely see that they have improved it. Maybe it's due to the game's graphical fidelity improvement, but either way, it looks much better than what we had before. And the frame rate, still consistent 60 FPS, it's just that the temperature is going above what we usually have as the thermal limit. So it will definitely feel a lot warmer in our hands. And once again, we are testing with no case. Having a case will definitely affect the temperature of the device. Okay, here comes the Vivo V40. So for this phone in particular, it's a mid-range, a more premium mid-range phone with the Snapdragon 7 Gen 3. So we are playing it at the medium graphical preset with 60 FPS setting. What is this? Eh. Don't know what I'm activating for, but why does it sometimes run and sometimes not run on these surfaces? Oh. Ouch.
Settle down.
Shower me with praise.
Wow, the frame rate,
Not now.
it's stuttery. It's not consistent 30 FPS. Again, consistency in terms of frame rate is better than high number frame rates, but it fluctuates a lot more. So this is definitely not consistent 30. Oh, they can't swim, okay. I guess I need to possess a shark, right? Why do that when I have Furina? Wow, they suck at land. I mean, it kind of makes sense because it's supposed to be more towards an aquatic animal, I guess. But at least I can do the drill here, right? Oh man, they're not even dying.
Alright, let's finish this fast.
Silence.
One with nature.
Oh, they're all dead, okay. Okay, so whatever graphical settings that we're gonna use, I don't think it's gonna thermal throttle. So at most you're gonna get like 30-ish FPS most of the time we are out and about in this kind of area. The 40 something is not really reliable here because once we go outdoors, yeah, this is the frame rate that we're gonna get. So yeah, we're seeing like 30-ish, 40 FPS. I mean, it's much more playable than the 8 Gen 3 because when the 8 Gen 3 thermal throttles, it's horrible. So yeah, that's it for Vivo V40. Surprisingly, it can hold up on its own pretty well here. So let's move on to the next device. Okay, so we're back here with the Z Fold6. Again, highest graphical settings and whatever we want to do. So we just travel to the next statue, I guess. What is that thing? Anyway, let's go to the city first. Why is this thing flying with me? What are you? Why do you have that shiny thing? Oh, you are that raccoon thing. Okay, this is the city. More like an underground city, if I say so myself. Now let's go back out and then we shall explore a bit more. There are lots of waypoints here. So we just walk around because the frame rate is definitely about the same as the S24 Ultra. As you can see, the render resolution here is a bit higher as well, 1920 by 1650. This is currently the highest render resolution that we are seeing on phones so far for this game in particular. And frame rate about 30, 29, all that range of frame rate. So yeah, if you want to play it consistently at higher frame rates, you will have to once again either lower the render resolution or lower the graphical quality. Kind of depends on you. Oh, the frame drop. 23, 25 FPS. Ugh.
Let's finish this.
So the frame rate we can get like 30, 20 something. So similar situation with the S24 Ultra as well. It's just that this one is a little bit more drastic because of the higher render resolution. And now it's time for the M1 iPad Air. So as you can see here, we are using the maximum graphical settings available here. So what we're gonna do is to just do back the same thing like what we did just now. Natlan. Yeah, the owner of that. Oh, you can see the brightness change, and that is how the M1 iPad Air controls the thermal throttling. So one thing that I need to show you is that, as you can see, this is the brightness that we get. But if we change the brightness from the maximum level all the way down to like 80-70% is not going to change the brightness at all. We have to go much lower before the brightness changes. You see there? Anything higher than that, it's going to be at the same level, because the screen, for such a big piece of screen, actually it consumes a lot of power. So one way to mitigate thermal throttling is to just fix the brightness at a lower value, and then you won't thermal throttle that much. I mean, we can still get a very consistent gaming experience, so that works as a temperature control technique. It's just that if you want to play this game at a much brighter environment, then unfortunately you can't, because the screen brightness is not gonna be that bright. I really like the mobility of this thing. So close. Wow, the brightness drops even further. Okay.
When the tide comes in, I shall return.
Yeah, the brightness drops even further to control the temperature. Ugh. Oh, now the thermal throttling starts. I can feel that it's not 60 FPS. So we got that unlocked as well. It is now time to walk around.
My guiding star.
Settle down.
Yeah, M1 iPad Air, still very smooth experience overall. It's just that the brightness is definitely affected. Yeah, now it's lower than 50% until we can see a change. Anything higher than that, it's just gonna be the same. Yeah, that's how this tablet controls the temperature. Not really an issue unless you're playing outdoors anyway. And last but certainly not the least is the Google Pixel 9. So, yeah, this phone, like what we have mentioned in multiple videos that we've done about this phone is really not meant for gaming at all. So, we still just want to test it out just to see what kind of performance that we are getting. And so far, I am seeing a few frame skips here and there. So let's just continue playing and see how it goes.
Time to go. Strike a pose. Into the wind.
Let's round 'em up.
You know what? I'm gonna do another hot take here. The Tensor G4 is actually maintaining a very good frame rate.
Bow your head.
The wind knows me. Clouds high. The birds call. Don't be scared. The night is cold. Time to shine.
The tides beckon. Settle down.
Show a new threat. Into the wind. This is just
What?
a dream.
Yo, my shield!
Silence.
Where's the thing?
Temperate waters.
What the heck is this thing? Okay, I'm not gonna do it on mobile. Anyway, I'm just gonna say this. If you wanna play this game in particular, on the Google Pixel 9, yes, this is the Google Pixel 9, not the 9 Pro XL or whatever. The performance is... I would do another hot take here. It's actually better than the S24 Ultra because number one, since this chip is considered low powered because it's underclocked a lot, it doesn't thermal throttle, and since it doesn't thermal throttle, it can maintain a sustained performance for a much longer period of time, and that is why we're getting like 30-ish FPS most of the time, but it never dips below that. So it's a hot take. It's actually better than the S24 Ultra and the S24 Plus because when those two phones, they thermal throttle, it can drop to like 20 something FPS. For this phone though, it never did, which is why I'm saying Tensor G4 is misunderstood. It's actually really good for sustained performance here. Oh, one more thing that I need to show you guys. If you have an older phone, you can actually enable this mode. Go into graphical quality here. You can enable compatibility mode, which just lowers every single option to the lowest setting available. So if you turn it on, you can see it is now at the lowest render resolution, lowest shadow quality, lowest visual effect, lowest SFX quality, and also lowest environment detail, 24 FPS. Motion blur, you should turn this off anyway. Bloom is off, everything is at the lowest as well. So this is gonna help you use your older devices to play the game. Of course, the experience isn't gonna be that great, but it's an option. So you can see if you wanna play the game in compatibility mode, it's gonna be 24 FPS, and it looks absolutely horrible. Yeah. So that's it, that's all that we have to share with you here today. We have tested Genshin Impact 5.0 across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 devices. And I would have to say the M1 iPad Air is definitely gonna be a great tablet if you wanna play this game with it. It's just that the brightness will get lowered to control the thermals. S24 Ultra, Z Fold6, S24 Plus, these three devices are gonna thermal throttle to the point that it goes below 30 FPS, which is kind of a big yikes, I guess. Tensor G4, like what we mentioned earlier, hot take, it can actually maintain 30 FPS, about that, for a longer period of time because it's downclocked already. A premium mid-range smartphone with the Snapdragon 7 Gen 3. This is the Vivo V40. It actually does pretty okay, I would say, so you have to play around with the graphical settings a little bit to get a better experience. And finally, the ROG Phone 8. This is still the best performing gaming phone that we have tested so far, and because it has fixed the render resolution issue that we have mentioned like in a previous video, it actually looks and feels really nice to play with. It's maintaining 60 FPS as well, and I like to see that. One more thing that I need to mention is that thermal throttling is something that we cannot avoid. So if you want to learn more about that, watch the video at the top right corner here. That is very important. And finally, if you like these kind of videos, then do like and subscribe, and also share this video with your friends because that really helps us out a lot. Also, do let me know, are you exploring Natlan? Are you having fun with Natlan? What's your favorite mechanic? I'd like to know all of your thoughts down below, and we see you guys in the next video. Goodbye and have fun with Natlan.